Hello, and welcome to Federal Flash. I'm Nikki McKinney, and I'm joined by Philip Lovell. Today we have news from Capitol Hill and the Trump administration, but first, something new from the Alliance for Excellent Education. Yesterday, the Alliance released new tools to help state advocates translate the accountability and improvement plans that states have drafted under the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA. We're calling the tools ESSA Equity Dashboards. They summarize state ESSA plans, which are often more than 100 pages, into a single page of 12 equity-focused indicators. The dashboards use a red, yellow, green indication to highlight the strengths and shortcomings within state ESSA plans. Advocates can use the dashboards to hold state policymakers accountable for improving education policy, and state policymakers can use them to compare their plans to other states and identify and build support for equity-focused policies. Philip's here to tell us more.
Thanks, Nikki. These dashboards analyze a state's compliance with ESSA and how their plan will achieve equity and excellence for all students, especially those who have been historically underserved. While the analysis doesn't examine every aspect of state plans, the indicators included in the dashboard are essential for advancing equitable educational opportunities for all students. For example, how rigorous are a state's long-term education goals around graduation rates and achievement? Or will non-academic indicators crowd out academic achievement or reinforce student learning? How will states identify schools with struggling students? Each state ESSA plan is different, but most states are setting high goals for achievement and graduation rates. And although ESSA gives the flexibility to incorporate non-academic factors, most states are rightfully focusing on academic achievement.
On other policies, we see greater differences among state plans and some outright defiance of federal law. For example, ESSA requires 95% of students to participate in annual math and reading assessments. ESSA also requires states to include this policy in their accountability systems, but they have the flexibility to determine how. Some states are following the law in these instances and earn a green in their dashboard, but definitely not everyone. States also have very different policies for identifying schools with historically underserved students who need additional support. Some states are basing these decisions on many different indicators, which means that students may have to fail in several areas before they are identified for support. Other states concentrate on just a few indicators, such as achievement in reading and math. We give those states a green because we don't want kids to have to fail on everything before they receive help. The Alliance will be producing a dashboard for each proposed ESSA plan. The first 5 are available on our website at allfored.org/ESSA.
Thanks, Nikki. Now an update on the Trump administration's immigration policy. The Department of Homeland Security last week announced the rolling back of the Deferred Action for Parents of Americans and Lawful Permanent Residents, an Obama-era program known as DAPA, designed to shield the undocumented parents of U.S. citizens and others from deportation. Rolling back DAPA was largely a symbolic step. The program had never been implemented due to litigation. However, accompanying the announcement was guidance available via the link below, posted by DHS, which said that recipients of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, otherwise known as DACA, will continue to be eligible for renewal, adding that no work permits will be terminated prior to their current expiration dates. This is the first sign that the Trump administration may not, at least in the near term, take action against undocumented immigrants who entered the country as children, often referred to as dreamers. That said, no one is claiming victory yet. The children of undocumented immigrants fear as much for themselves as they do for their family members.
Thank you, Philip. Finally, yesterday the House passed the Strengthening Career and Technical Education for the 21st Century Act, a bill to reauthorize the Carl D. Perkins Career and Technical Education Act. The bill still has a long road in the Senate, so stay tuned for more. For an email alert when the next episode of Federal Flash is available, email us at alliance@allfored.org. Thanks for watching. Federal Flash is the Alliance for Excellent Education's video series on important developments in education policy in Washington, D.C. in 5 minutes or less.